Hi children, welcome to Physics Made Easy channel by Pratap Naidu. This is Pratap Naidu here and our topic is friction and it is at a glance. So let us see the topics here. Introduction. Number 2, contact force and angle of friction. Number 3, angle of repose. Number 4, motion along a rough inclined plane. Number 5, direction of friction. Okay. So first one is introduction part. Let us see. So what is friction? What is friction basically? So friction is a force that opposes a relative motion between two bodies in contact. So it opposes relative motion, and we should not say that it opposes motion. It opposes relative motion, not motion. If it opposes motion, we cannot walk. Automobiles, cars, bikes, buses, all these things, they cannot run on the roads. So friction opposes relative motion but not motion. Here, and how does frictional force acts on bodies and where does it act? Suppose if one block is there here, another block is there. Suppose if this block is trying to move on this block, frictional force acts on this block, because it has to oppose the relative motion of this block with respect to this block, no, according to the definition. Since this block is in rest and this block is trying to move rightwards, for example, what is the role of the friction? It has to oppose the relative motion of this block with respect to this block. So it has to act on this block. How does it act here? And where does it act on this body? See, it acts here. This is plane of contact between this lower block and this upper block. Frictional force acts on this block, acts on this plane of contact. In which direction it acts? It acts in this direction. That is, the frictional force acts tangential to the plane of contact. Got it? Yes. In which direction? It acts in a direction so as to oppose the relative motion of the body. The relative motion of this body with respect to this body. So it acts in a direction opposite to the motion of this body. In which direction this body is moving, or in which direction this body is trying to move, in opposite direction to that one, friction will be acting, and it is a tangential to the plane of contact. It will not act at any angles like this. It will be perfectly tangential to the surface in contact. Got it? Yes. Next, there are three types of friction here. One is the static friction, the second one is the kinetic friction, or it is also called as a dynamic friction. Dynamic friction, and the another one is rolling friction. Rolling friction we will be dealing in rotational dynamics chapter, okay, because it is corresponding to rotational motion only. And let us see this one, what is the static friction and what is the kinetic friction. Static friction is the frictional force that is acting on a body when it is in a state of rest. This is not in motion now. Suppose this body is in rest. Suppose an external force is acting on this body and it is trying to move. It is in rest means if there is no external force trying to move the body, then no friction will be acting. Even static friction is also not acting on that one. There must be an external force trying to move this block here. So some external force is trying to move this block. Then that block must be in rest. In such a case only static friction acts on that one. Suppose if external force is 0, no force is trying this block is in rest, no static friction will be acting on that one. Got it, no? So there must be an external force that is trying to move this one, and that should not move, that should be in rest only. In that case, which type of friction is acting on the block? Static friction is acting. So what is static friction? It is the frictional force acting on a body which is in the state of rest. Okay. Now, or static friction acts on two bodies in contact whose relative motion with respect to one another is 0. We can say in that way also. Okay. And what is kinetic friction? Suppose due to the action of external force, if this block is set into motion, then the frictional force acting on this block is known as the kinetic friction. Okay, or we can see in another way, when two bodies are having relative motion with respect to each other, when two bodies in contact are having relative motion with respect to each other, then the kinetic friction acting on them is not, then the friction acting on them is known as kinetic friction. Got it? So kinetic friction means when the bodies are moving against each other, it is kinetic friction. When the bodies are at rest with respect to each other, then the frictional force is static friction. Okay, one important thing we have to know about this one is kinetic friction is a constant value for a given pair of bodies. Its value is constant, but static friction, it is not constant. It varies from 0 to a certain maximum value known as a maximum value of static friction or limiting friction, FL. What is FL? Limiting friction. So static friction value increases from 0 to a certain maximum value. That maximum value is known as a maximum, it is represented as Fmax, read as maximum value of static friction, or FL, and read as limiting friction. See, then what is the maximum value of static friction? And when static friction is 0, when static friction is 0, the relative motion between the bodies is not there. They are at rest with respect to each other. When static friction value, let us represent this one, static friction Fs is less than Fmax, the body will be in rest with respect to another body which is in contact. When static friction reaches maximum value, then the body will be in a state of about to move condition, about to move. Then the body will be coming to this condition. What is this? It will be ready to move. So this is known as the maximum value of static friction. Okay, on what values does this maximum value of static friction depends? Okay, let us see. Maximum value of static friction Fmax is directly proportional to normal contact force. See here mg is acting downwards on this block, normal contact force is acting upwards, no? So this maximum value of static friction is depending on what? It is depending on normal contact force. If normal contact force is more, maximum value of static friction will be more. If normal contact force is less, maximum value of static friction is less. For heavier bodies, N will be more. For lighter bodies, N will be less. So for lighter bodies, maximum value of static friction will be less. For heavier bodies, maximum value of static friction will be more. So Fmax is directly proportional to N. This implies Fmax is equal to mu s N. What is mu s here? Mu s is proportionally constant and it is called as the coefficient of static friction. Coefficient of static friction. Similarly here, Fk is directly proportional to N. That implies Fk is equal to mu Kn. And here what is mu K? Mu K is the coefficient of kinetic friction. It is the coefficient of kinetic friction. It is coefficient of kinetic friction. And here mu s, coefficient of static friction, is always greater than coefficient of kinetic friction, because Fs or Fmax, maximum value of static friction, is always greater than maximum value of static friction is always greater than kinetic friction. Later I will explain you regarding that one. Okay. And here the coefficient of friction, its value lies between 0 to 1, and it is wrong to assume that always its value lies between 0 and 1. There are cases where its value exceeds 1 also. So when mu equal to 0, this implies friction equal to 0. And this is possible in superfluidity. So in the case of superfluids, friction is 0. but they are ideal fluids. Okay. Next one, mu equal to 1 implies friction equal to n, because the mu coefficient of friction equal to F by n. Okay, coefficient of static friction equal to F max by n, coefficient of kinetic friction equal to Fk by n. In general, coefficient of friction is F by n. So when mu equal to 1, friction is equal to n, that is friction is equal to normal contact force. Okay. And when mu is greater than 1, that implies friction is greater than normal reaction. Friction is too much. And example for this one is silicone rubber. Silicone rubber. So here friction is greater than normal reaction. So okay, now let us learn one more thing. What about and how friction depends on area in contact. Friction and area in contact. Suppose let us consider a block like this. Its mass is m. So gravitational force is mg, normal reaction is n here. So in this case, what is the friction? You know, friction equal to mu n. So let us turn this one, topple this one. In this case, see here, in this case area is A1, surface area in contact is A1, here surface area in contact is A2. Okay, mu is same, here it is mu, coefficient of friction is mu, here also coefficient of friction is mu, because we have not changed. Each and every surface is identical here. That is, the degree of roughness is same here, the same body, the same flow here. So we have not changed the two objects in contact here. So coefficient of friction is same. So what about frictional force in this case? Here it is F1 equal to mu n, here F2 equal to mu, it will be n only, no? Mu n. So here F1 equal to F2. Got it? If normal reaction remains constant, friction will be independent of area. See, don't think that, so here more surface is in contact, therefore there will be more friction is acting here, so it is very difficult to move this one. Here, since less surface is in contact, less surface area is in contact here, so it is easy to move. Don't think like that. Both of them are equal here. Okay, so here friction is same. So friction is independent, keep in mind, friction is independent of area in contact until n remains the same. If n varies, then friction depends on area. Until n remains constant, friction will be same only. Let me give you an idea how friction varies, how friction is self-adjusting force. Let us take different cases here. Friction, a self-adjusting force. Okay, yes, let us see. One. Here let us consider a block lying on a floor here. Gravitational force is mg, normal reaction is n here. An external force, when external force F is acting on this body and trying to move it, immediately frictional force will be acting here in this direction, in a direction opposite to the direction of motion. So in this case, so let us start with external force 0. What if external force is 0? So that is, here forget about these two forces, because in this direction the block is not having any acceleration, that is these two forces are cancelling each other, n equal to mg. Since they are equal and opposite and they are acting on the same body, they cancel each other. So in this direction no net force is there, so the block is not having any acceleration in this direction. So let us consider only it can move in horizontal direction. No? Let us consider its horizontal motion. Suppose external force, initially no external force is trying to move the block, then what happens? What about frictional force? When F equal to 0, frictional force is equal to external force, that equal to 0. No frictional force acts. What, sir? You told no. When a body is in rest, static friction acts. I told you there itself. When external agency tries to move the body, and when the body is in rest, in that case only static friction will be acting on that body. If no external agency tries to move the body, no friction will be acting. So when external force is 0, what about frictional force? 0. So got it? Next, second one. Second case. Second case, let us increase the force. So I am not drawing these forces here. Let us increase this force. F, increasing this force, but its value is less than F max. Then what about frictional force? Okay, now external force is a non-zero value. When external force is 0 value, friction is 0 value. When external force is non-zero value, what happens? So gradually we are increasing the value of external force. Friction also gradually increases. Okay. For example, F max is 10 newtons. So here friction is 0 when external force is 0. When external force increases from 0 to 10 newtons, frictional force also increases from 0 to 10 newtons only. When external force is 1 newton, frictional force will be 1 newton. When external force is 2 newtons, frictional force will be 2 newtons, like this. When external force is 10 newtons, frictional force is also 10 newtons. When external force is 10.1 newton, frictional force is 10 newtons, less than 10 newtons then. Friction, static friction cannot increase beyond 10 newtons. Its maximum value is 10 newtons. Okay. So it can increase up to 10 newtons only. What if external force exceeds this 10 newtons? Then static friction will be having 10 newtons value? No. When external force is 10 newtons, it will be 10 newtons. When external force is exceeding 10 newtons and reaching 10.1 newtons, then static friction will not be 10 newtons. It will be less than 10 newtons. Okay? I will explain you here. See, when external force F is less than F max, then what is frictional force in this case? Friction. And this friction we call it as static friction. See here, I will write like this. Friction equal to Fs, static friction. So here, friction F is equal to how much? It is, what type of friction is this? Static friction. And its value is equal to how much? Capital F only, external force only, which is less than F max. Got it now? So what type of friction is acting here? It is static friction. What is its value? It is equal to external force. How much is external force? Has it reached maximum value of friction? No, it has not reached. It is less than maximum value of static friction. So now this is clear, no? This is static friction. This is not maximum value of static friction. Static friction is shown like this, Fs, and its maximum value is shown as F max. Got it, no? And next one, 3. When external force F is equal to F max, then what about frictional force? What type of friction is this? Then frictional force F is equal to F max. This is equal to F. Now I am not writing it as Fs because it has reached maximum value, or otherwise we can write this equal to static friction only and its value equal to external force, that equal to F max. Got it now? What type of friction is this? Static friction. Okay, its value is equal to maximum value of static friction. Even maximum value of static friction is also static friction only. It is maximum value. Okay, so what type of friction is this? Static friction. How much its value? Its value equal to external force. What is the value of external force? It is equal to F max. Got it now? Yes. In this case, this block is in rest here. Here the block is in rest here. Here the block is just ready to move. It is about to move here. Next, what if we increase this force further, external force? Suppose F is increased, it is greater than F max. Now what happens? Now what type of friction is this? Now friction equal to Fk. It is kinetic friction and its value, it is less than F max. So in this case, F is less than external force also, no? Got it? Yes. So this is the way how the frictional force varies. Here frictional force, it is initially 0 when external force is 0. Here frictional force is non-zero value, but it is less than maximum value. Here frictional force reaches maximum value, and when external force exceeds maximum value of friction, now frictional force, it does not stay at F max. Instead, its value decreases to Fk. Fk is less than F max. Okay. This is the way how the friction varies. Hence, friction is known as self-adjusting force. Let me explain you. For example, F max equal to 10 newtons for a given pair. For this given pair, F max equal to 10 newtons. This is the external force trying to move this, and this is frictional force. For this pair of bodies, what is maximum value of static friction? 10 newtons. Now see, here let us take external force values, here let us take frictional values. When external force is 0, frictional force is 0. When it is 1 newton, it is 1 newton. When it is 2 newtons, it is 2 newtons. So on like this. When it is 10 newtons, it is 10 newtons. Here the body will be in rest. Here the body will be in rest. Here the body will be in rest. Here the bodies will be in rest. Here it is about to move. When the external force is 10 newtons, frictional force is also 10 newtons. And here what type of friction is this? Static friction. And here it is static friction only, but it is maximum value. So if it is 10.1 newtons, then what about this one? Suppose here F max equal to 10 newtons and Fk equal to 9.5 newtons. Then what happens to this value? This is 9.5 newtons. Got it now? Clear? See now. See, then F equal to 10.1 newtons and frictional force I am drawing here. Now it is equal to F equal to 9.5 newtons. Then in which direction the body is having acceleration? Rightwards, because right force is greater than leftward force, no? So acceleration is rightwards. So what is net force? F net equal to ma implies what is net force here? 10.1 minus 9.5 newtons. This is equal to 0.6 newtons. So what is the net force here? 0.6 newtons. I think you got it. Yes. Next one is contact force and angle of friction. Contact force and angle of friction. So what is contact force here? So previously I gave you examples, different contact forces and non-contact forces were there. Tension force, spring force, normal contact force, air resistance, viscosity, all these are contact forces. Don't take this one as one of that one, okay? Here contact force in friction, it is having its own meaning, it is having its own cruciality here. Let us see what is a contact force in this case. See, let us consider a block of some mass, weight is acting downwards mg, normal reaction in this direction, external force F and frictional force in this direction. So I am drawing frictional force here. I am drawing all the forces at center of mass of the body for sake of convenience. Okay. See here. Suppose this body is in equilibrium here. This body is in equilibrium. When the body is in equilibrium, the resultant of normal reaction, the resultant of this normal contact force and frictional force, This is known as normal contact force. What is normal contact force? It is represented by R, and it is a resultant of frictional force and normal contact force when the body is in equilibrium. That is, the body is not having an acceleration. Okay, when external force and frictional force, both of them are equal. So this body is in rest now. Okay, so in this case only, the resultant of these two gives us normal contact force. And what is angle of friction? The angle between contact force R and normal contact force is angle of friction. And here there are two extreme cases. Two extreme cases. One is R minimum value and phi minimum value. What is R here? It is a resultant of this one, no? Normal contact force and frictional force. Let us check the minimum and maximum values for R and phi here. When external force F equal to 0, what about frictional force? It is also 0, no? Then what is the expression for R? R equal to root of n square plus f square. By Pythagoras theorem, this R, this side is n, this side is f, this is f, no? So R equal to root of n square plus f square. So this is equal to root of n square plus 0 square. So therefore R equal to R minimum here, that equal to n. So what is minimum value of R? N. Then what about phi here? See, tan phi equal to how much? Tan phi equal to f by n. Therefore phi equal to tan inverse f by n. So this equal to tan inverse f is 0, no? Tan inverse 0. Therefore phi equal to, it is the phi minimum, that equal to 0, because tan inverse 0 equal to 0. So phi equal to 0. So this is the minimum value of phi. Angle of friction. What is the minimum value of angle of friction? 0. What is the minimum value for contact force? It is equal to normal contact force. Okay. Now let us check for maximum values. Let us check for maximum values too. R max and phi max. R max and phi max. So you know R equal to root of n square plus f square. If f equal to f max, then R equal to how much? Root of n square plus f max square. This equal to root of n square plus, what is f max? F max equal to mu s n. Therefore mu s square n square. This equal to, n is brought outside, root of 1 plus mu s square. So what is n here? Since the body is in equilibrium, n equal to mg. So let me write. So this is mg into 1 plus root of 1 plus mu s square. So this is R max. So what is the maximum value of contact force here? R max equal to mg into root over 1 plus mu s square. What it? Then what about phi max here? Let us check. Phi equal to how much? Tan inverse f by n, that equal to tan inverse f max by n, that equal to tan inverse, what is f max? Mu s n by n, n cancels, so this equal to tan inverse mu s, and this is the maximum value, because mu s is the maximum value. Previously I told you mu s is greater than mu k, so mu s is the maximum value. Therefore phi max is tan inverse mu s. So what are the maximum values here? Maximum value of R is R max equal to how much? Mj into root over 1 plus mu s square, while maximum value of angle of friction is tan inverse mu s. Got it, guys? Then what about R k? For kinetic friction, what is the value of R? So R equal to root of n square plus f k square. this is equal to root of n square plus mu k square n square. This is equal to n into root of 1 plus mu k square. This is equal to mj into root of 1 plus mu k square. This is r, and the body is in motion. Its value is intermediate. It lies between the minimum value and maximum value. Similarly, phi equal to tan inverse fk by n is equal to tan inverse mu k n by n. N cancels here. This is equal to tan inverse mu k. Its value also lies between that minimum and maximum values. Next one is third topic. This is angle of repose. Angle of repose. What is this one? Let us see. Suppose let us consider a wedge or a rough inclined plane here, and let us consider a block. So here, what are the forces acting on this one? Normal reaction in this direction, mg like this. So let us resolve mg. This is theta, no? This is theta, this is theta. This is mg cos theta. This is mg sin theta. See, normal reaction, normal contact force and mg cos theta, both of them are balanced. How do you know? Because it is not having any motion normal to this plane here. So here mg sin theta is the unbalanced force, and due to mg sin theta, this block has to move down. So this mg sin theta is nothing but external force acting on this block so as to make it move down the plane here. So in this case, what happens, since suppose if it is a smooth inclined plane, due to this force, this block will accelerate downwards. But here, since this is a rough inclined plane, there will be frictional force acting in this direction. Opposing frictional force will be acting in this direction. Okay. So you know, whether this block moves or not, who decides? Maximum value of static friction decides. If external force is less than maximum value of static friction, it does not move. The block will be in rest only. If external force is equal to maximum value of static friction, it will not move. It will be about to move. If external force exceeds F max, then the body moves. Okay. So here, what is F max? F max equal to mu s n, that equal to mu s. What is n here? N equal to mg cos theta. So mg cos theta. So what is F max here? F max equal to mu s mg cos theta. Until mg sin theta is less than mu s mg cos theta, the body will not move. The body will not move. Now see what happens. As we increase theta gradually, what happens to mg sin theta? Mg sin theta value increases and mu s mg cos theta value decreases. At one stage, mg sin theta will be equal to mu s mg cos theta. Mg sin theta will be equal to mu s mg cos theta, and that is, what is mg sin theta? F external. This is what? F max. So what is this case here? About to move condition. The body will be ready to move now. So this angle at which the body is about to move is called as angle of repose. Got it? The angle at which the body is about to move is known as angle of repose. I think it is clear. Yes. So next one is fourth, motion along a rough inclined plane. Motion along a rough inclined plane here. Okay, this is theta. So let us consider a block here. This is the normal reaction. This is mg, and this is theta here. This is mj cos theta. This is mg sin theta. And frictional force will be acting like this. Okay. Now suppose this is moving down, it is having motion downwards, that is, it is having acceleration downwards. Okay. So in this case, what is net force? F net equal to MA. What is F net here? F net equal to mg sin theta minus, what is frictional force? Mu mg cos theta, mu mg, because frictional force F equal to mu n, this equal to mu into what is n here, n equal to mg cos theta. Okay. So mu mg cos theta equal to ma. What is m here? Mass of the block. Okay. So now in this case m's cancel here. So what is the acceleration of the block? A equal to g sin theta minus mu g cos theta. What is this? So this block is accelerating down the rough inclined plane with a value given as acceleration A equal to g sin theta minus mu g cos theta. Got it? G sin theta minus mu g cos theta. Now let us see what happens in this case. Suppose we provide an initial velocity to the block. We kick it like this. Okay. We strike this block like this. What happens? It goes up, no? It goes up. Now see what happens. So in this direction, normal reaction. In this direction, m here. In this direction and in this direction. This is the theta. This is the mg cos theta. This is mg sin theta. Okay. Now in which direction this block is moving? Upwards. Okay. It is moving upwards. Now what about frictional force? Since it is moving upwards with respect to this surface, frictional force acts on this block so as to oppose its motion. Means in which direction frictional force acts on this block? In this direction. It has to oppose its motion, no? Frictional force always opposes relative motion. With respect to this surface or relative to this slope, this block is having motion in this direction. So frictional force will be acting in this direction here. Got it? Yes. So what type of force is this? Now let me rub this one. So here this is an opposing force because motion is upwards and force is acting downwards. Mg sin theta is acting downwards, friction is acting downwards. Here see, motion is downwards and here a net force is acting downwards. Only friction is opposing it, but mg sin theta is supporting it. Here none of them are supporting it. Both this mg sin theta as well as friction force, both are opposing this motion. So this is opposing force here. And opposing force produces not acceleration, deceleration. That is, this block slows down, finally comes to 0. Finally its velocity becomes 0 here. What is F net here? F net equal to ma by Newton's second law. F net equal to ma. What is F net? mg sin theta plus F, this is equal to ma. That is mg sin theta plus what is F? Mu mg cos theta equal to ma. M's cancel here. So what is a here? It is not acceleration, it is a deceleration. It is a deceleration or retardation. A equal to g sin theta plus mu g cos theta. See, when the body is sliding down, what is the acceleration here? Acceleration when it is sliding down is given as A equal to mu g sin theta minus mu g cos theta. See, acceleration is g sin theta minus mu g cos theta, whereas deceleration, when the block is moving up the plane, it is g sin theta plus mu g sin theta. Which is greater value? This is greater value. So, than acceleration, deceleration is greater. Okay? Yes. Next one is the last one is direction of friction. Direction of friction. Suppose let us consider a smooth surface on which a block of mass capital M is lying here, on which a block of mass small m is lying here. So let us suppose that an external force F is acting on this lower block. What happens now? How the frictional force acts? See, on this lower surface of this block, any frictional force acts here? No frictional force, because it is in contact with the smooth surface, that is, there is no friction. Then what about the frictional force acting on the top surface of this block and the bottom surface of this block here? Let us see. Here, as this block is trying to move forward due to this force, this surface will be moving forward with respect to this surface, no? Yes. As this surface is trying to move forward with respect to this surface, friction comes into action. What is the role of the friction? It tries to oppose the relative motion. So, it acts in this direction, because motion is rightwards. Friction will try to oppose that motion. So, on this top surface, friction will be acting leftwards. Got it? Yes. Then what about the frictional force acting on this bottom surface, since it is in contact with this one? Suppose when this block is trying to move in forward direction, what will be the motion of this surface relative to this surface? If this surface is trying to move forward, its relative motion will be leftwards, no? Let us take any example here. For example, let us take this one. Guys, see this one. This is the lower block, this is the upper block, no? When this lower block, this book is trying to move in this direction, see in which direction this upper one moves. See what it know? It tries to move in left direction. Yes, guys, now see here. So, this surface, when this block tries to move in rightward direction, this block tends to move in left direction, no? As this block is trying to move in left direction with respect to this surface, in which direction frictional force acts on this one? So, frictional force tries to oppose its relative motion, which is leftward. So, frictional force acts in right direction. And here, both these blocks are having a common acceleration A. So, here this frictional force is responsible for acceleration A. And this block is also having acceleration A. Here, F equal to ma. And what about the force reaction here? Here external force capital F is acting, no? On this one. So, F minus F equal to ma here for this lower block. So, got it now? So, who is actually responsible for the acceleration of upper block? Frictional force. So, this frictional force is only providing this acceleration to this upper block like this, because there is no other body in contact with this one. Only it is in contact with this top surface, and if it is having an acceleration rightwards, means what? This top surface is carrying it rightwards. And one more thing I tell you, and you know this frictional force is acting due to what? This frictional force is acting due to this body on this body. By Newton's third law, this body has to apply the same amount of friction force on this body. That is, so it is leftwards, this is rightwards, same value. So using Newton's third law also we can explain, or using the relative motion concept also we can explain. In this way, while solving problems, you must be careful. You must be able to identify in which direction frictional forces are acting on various bodies while solving problems. I think okay, I forget one more concept, that is the graph between applied force and frictional force. Actually, I should have taught you in that one introduction part. Now please let me explain here itself now. So all these topics are over. except that graph is left over. So let us take it as a special topic, that is a graph between external force F and frictional force. See what happens here. Along x-axis, let us take external force, and along y-axis, let us take a frictional force here. The graph will be like this. The graph will be like this. So what is this value? This is the 0, and so this is F equal to F max. This point corresponds to maximum value of static friction. So this is F max, and this value, it corresponds to Fk, it is kinetic friction, and this is 45 degrees, theta equal to 45 degrees. Let me explain this graph here. So external force F is taken on this axis and frictional force is taken on this axis. When external force is 0, what is the value of frictional force? 0 only. When external force increases like this, frictional force also increases like this. How they are increasing? Directly proportional is frictional force is directly proportional F here. Here, let us take this tan 45 degrees. Tan 45 degrees equal to how much? Opposite side by adjacent side. What is this opposite side? This is friction values, no? So this is friction. And what is adjacent side? Capital F. What is tan 45? 1. So what does it mean? F equal to F. So along this graph, capital F value and frictional force value, both of them are same. So at this point, until which value of frictional force, both of them are equal, until F max is reached. What if capital F is increasing beyond F max? Then frictional force is reducing to Fk, static kinetic friction. See, Fk is less than F max here. And yeah, I told you before, kinetic friction is constant and static friction is self-adjusting force. See, it is adjusting according to external force. As external force is 1 Newton, frictional force is 1 Newton. External force is 2 Newtons, frictional force is 2 Newtons. External force is F max, frictional force is F max. External force exceeds F max, frictional force decreases to Fk. So Fk is constant here. This is Fk graph and this is constant. Got it? Yes. Here the slope of this graph is how much? Slope equal to tan 45 degrees, that equal to 1. Slope of this graph is 1 here. And here I have to tell you about this one. This is a kink. Here actually nobody knows till today about the perfect graph between when the friction varies from maximum value of static friction to kinetic friction. They don't know how it varies. It varies linearly, it varies exponentially, parabolically, they don't know. So they have taken a kink like this. Okay, so this is all about friction. Okay.